Hey folks, put a Lefty fork on my cross bike, kind of like the Cannondale Slate, but of course not on a Cannondale frame. So just gonna highlight some issues that I ran into, and we'll go from there. So getting the fork definitely was a bit of a process. Ordering weird parts that are used can always be a bit of a hassle. You don't really know about quality. You're not sure, what has the correct value on it. You have to make sure that it's 29er friendly, which if you want something relatively inexpensive, it's kind of hard to find. This was made to have a larger travel, but it got reduced just to fit 90 or 80 mils of travel. So this Lefty, let's see here, yeah, 80 mils. 29er, I don't even know the model number. I think it has a factory defect on it, or at least this model did. So I think that's why I got it for cheap. I think it was serviced on. I think it's been taken care of by the owner. I imagine if you own these forks, the free factory recall would be mentioned at the Cannondale store that the guy got it from. These are all assumptions that you have to make when you buy a used fork. Do your research though. Recalls are not uncommon for these forks, I've now realized. You also want to figure out the compatibility with the hubs. So of course you can't just get off the shelf a nice Lefty hub that's not from a Cannondale store. Even then I went to a place that had a distributor and sold Lefty bikes, but they didn't have any replacements in their catalog, so I ended up having to build custom and ordering this literally just the cheapest hub off eBay. It's got drawn carbon fiber on it. I think it's got the branding is it's a banana. I don't have the rotor on it yet. I just put on the fork. I just got some facts or some input and anecdote fresh in my mind. So the adapter is a Project 321. Fits my Trek E2 head tube, which is pretty common. It's like a 1 1/8 and then a 1.5, so that worked out well. You can definitely get a 1 1/8 set up on there. That's much more common. Got the regular size. Just measure your head tube on there, and then also take into account the headset cap. So this guy right here, that's gonna really help you out in terms of figuring out the correct length. Because, these are meant to be on mountain bikes and a little bit shorter. Also, when you're buying the fork, you want to know the length of from here to here. Don't know what the exact word for it is, but that is in millimeters. That's something to consider as well. You want it to match your Project 321. It's sort of like a steer tube, basically. You can Google Project 321 Lefty for all, and you'll figure it out. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at this video, you're already doing online research for that, but just something to think about. With the steer tube, you have to get either an expanding star nut or a normal star nut on there. You'll have to figure that one out. I had an expandable one because from my old carbon fork that came with my Crockett, so that was relatively easy. But yeah, so this guy right here, this is a new headset that I had to get because my old one was just a little bit too high. Did the math and it ended up being a millimeter, 2 millimeters off, which of course means everything if you're trying to fit something on properly and keep your bearings all snug and a proper pressure, tension, whatever you want to call it, whatever that engineering metric is. Yeah, aside from that, the shock's fine. I'm not an expert on Lefty shocks or shocks in general. Of course, I'm a roadie and I'm not, I'm new to this whole thing. This is me dipping my toe into a bit of travel. If you're getting it used, think about the travel. The feel for the new Cannondale Slate is 30 mils, so you don't want to you want to think about it. You don't want to just dive into it. I'm gonna do I've been doing single track and cross country pretty often on my cross bike, so I just felt a little bit undergunned. This is all disgusting. Don't look at that. it's the winter. I rode it through the winter. I'm gonna do some spring tuning on it, but not that that matters to you. But yeah, so custom wheel, fork, and then the adapter on there. You can figure out the price for yourself when you want to do that. Also, like, because you'll have more travel, you'll probably also have to get new cables. And then if you're getting new cables, got to get new bar tape, of course. And if you're getting new bar tape and all of that, you might as well just start working on the drivetrain. So this is like just obviously regular maintenance and whatnot on there. My post mount didn't work, so my brake this brake adapter had to be installed. It's just like a piece of metal from Shimano. You gotta figure it out. You gotta figure out how big your rotor is and like what you're running, what's the default for this fork. You can find all the manuals online, but it's hard tracking down the model number. I've already forgotten. Like, I think it's like 2007 Lefty speed, and then like it's some degree of speed that it's like it's aluminum instead of carbon, and then like yeah. But anyway, I think it's there's no. I can probably look up that serial number, but I just haven't yet, and I'm sure there's something to be said about that. Yeah, so like that's something to consider. It's not like you're gonna buy you're gonna buy this fork, or this is what I did. I bought the fork, got the adapter. I was like, wham bam, this is gonna be easy. And then I forgot about the post mount. I was like, where the hell am I gonna get a wheel? Are these cables gonna run properly? Thankfully they did. I honestly, like, I can't believe I have so much slack on my front brake cable that this extra bit of gap here didn't matter. But that was just me probably trying to just run a loose setup. Yeah, so like, yeah, think about your headset, all of that. I mean, you are changing the geometry of your bike. I think you can zoom out here now that you've seen the dirty drivetrain and all of that. Fine with that. This is way more upright. Feels more like a touring bike now, to be entirely honest. Except with kind of high bottom bracket clearance. So it's just a weird feel right now. I'm fine with it. I kind of knew that this was going to be totally alright, but something to think about as well. Yeah, just trying to think, like, whatever extra advice. This is like my one opportunity to be doing this. Yeah, I don't know. It feels fine. It's I haven't like sent it on any jumps. I haven't actually done real trail riding on it. I live in the city, so this will be like something I'll have to drive out into like the country and do some riding there, which happens often enough that I rationalize this purchase. But it's also a nice winter project if you got the space for it and the money. These forks aren't cheap. I think you'd be surprised. Roadies would be surprised about how much suspension forks are. Yeah, so cool. All right, thanks for listening. Hope that was helpful. These are just things that, if you're making a list of like to do for this upgrade, that's what you got to do. All right, later, guys.